welcome back to another Wreckers video. It's been a while. Today we're focusing on Falcons because there's a reason why they end up at the Wreckers. I'm working on a Falcon right now because I'm taking a brake caliper off for a mate of mine. The main reason why Falcons end up at the Wreckers is because people think they're indestructible, which they are to a degree, but they don't maintain them. And the reason I'm getting a caliper is because he sees two of them. We're going to talk about all the other reasons why Falcons end up at the Wreckers. So I'm just following Nathan around the Wreckers. There's a bunch of cars here and they're all pretty bad. Most of them are actually Falcons. E-Series. Shall we go through all the problems that these ones have? Alright, so this one's an EL, which you can tell because they look uglier than EFs. Oh, that's hot, that's hot. These ones have a sock engine. People think is actually an intake, but it's not. They're actually different. So the head gasket in them goes, and because the labor is usually more expensive than the car's worth, people scrap them, so they end up here. But these engines actually have a better bottom end than an intake, but a worse head. The valves are smaller, but the rods and the pistons are beefier than intakes. Another thing which I don't understand about ELs compared to EFs and AUs, ELs are distributors, EFs aren't, and EF is older. Makes sense of that. Another problem with E-Series Falcons, the door lock actuators stop working, so you can't lock the car and you can't unlock it, so you just have to leave it unlocked. And this one has actually had its door lock actuators taken out, and I know that because they're riveted in from factory. So silly. Like, I don't know why they would do that, especially considering they fail a lot. This isn't necessarily going to make your Falcon end up at the Wreckers, but an accumulation of lots and lots of problems will. And one of the main things about Falcons is their sagging headliner. So this, you know, will cost you probably $200 to $300 to redo. And if you combine it with all the other problems they have, you're probably like, well, the car's only worth $1,500. So you may as well just scrap it because fixing all of it's not going to be worth it. So that's another reason why they end up at the Wreckers. This isn't a Falcon, it's a Tezza territory. These end up at the Wreckers because of their ball joints. Their upper ball joint falls out. I think it's either the upper or the lower one. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure it's the lower one. They fall out and they end up looking like this. Usually when that happens, it causes a lot more damage than just suspension components. So you have to replace a guard, maybe a wheel bearing, brakes. And once again, these cars aren't worth very much now, especially the BTR early ones, like the BA model territories. They're like $1,000 to $1,500, and just to replace a couple of control arms is already that much, excluding labor. So that's why they end up here. Otherwise, they're really stout cars. So it's a shame. We've got this BA, I think. BA or BF, don't know. But my next point is going to be power steering pumps. Now, once again, it's not going to cause your whole car to go to the Wreckers, but like I said earlier, a whole collection of things, repairs, is going to send your car to the wrecker. Now, while I'm talking about this one and power steering pumps, these always blow gears and stuff. Not so much the B-Series ones, but FGs. They all share a common thing, and that's the rear end of these cars. The BA was one of the first mass-produced Falcons to have IRS. As standard, I know that AUs, Fairmonts and Fairmont gears, they came with IRS, but these ones suffer a lot from diff push issues. They suffer from cracked subframes as well, especially in manual ones or turbo applications. That is one of their biggest flaws with the Falcons, the rear ends. If you're doing diff pushes, if you're doing the center bearing and the blade arms and stuff like that, that can end up being very expensive, and again, it'll send your car to the Wreckers. So another common problem with B-Series Falcons are key barrels, and Rex loves B-Series key barrels, don't you?
The key barrels on these things fail, and they fail a lot, and it has left me stranded before. Unfortunately, I can't even show you because for some reason someone's taken the faulty key barrel out of this Falcon and put it in theirs. Don't know why, but
probably because theirs failed.
Probably because theirs failed, but this one's probably failed as well. So what happens is you turn it over to start the starter on the on position, and then it doesn't return back for some reason. And then it also has an issue with not engaging the starter. So your ignition barrel might not engage the starter and then leave you stranded. And that has happened to me before, so.
It's such a love-hate relationship with Falcons. They're so good, but they're so shit at the same time. What do you think about Falcons?
I hate them.
You hate them?
Kill them all.
The barrow's missing.
Yeah, because someone wants to make 500 horsepower for $2 grand, you know?
Yeah, 2K barrow.
That's it, look. One's here, ready to go.
Gassy.
3R23, got the good rods.
This actually is. It's an FG.
Look at that. See this thing?
It's rare.
Sleeper motor. People don't know. I mean, people do know. It's common knowledge now. But you can get a $600 Barra out of Wreckers, and you can beat a Chaser, a Supra, a Skyline. I'm gonna get roasted for that. Yeah, that's it. You can chop any car ever with one of these bad boys. Hey, like imagine this. You've just spent $160,000 on your brand new C63, and a Ford Falcon comes next to you at a set of light, and you hear it spool up. It's got like a 3.5K stall converter, and it just chops you off the line. How would you feel? I wouldn't feel very good. I'd probably sell the car and buy a Falcon.
Okay, final thing with Falcons. Interior bits. Why are you gonna make me look small like that? Cheap, nasty plastic that breaks like this. Dash spears. I would demonstrate the cheapness of the door handles, but they're gone, as you can see. Especially FGs, FJ Mark 1s and Mark 2s, they have really flimsy door handles. Let's see the back ones. Are the door handles here?
Nope.
No, they're missing. Perfect example. So they actually reinforce them in the FGX generation, the plastic door handles, so they don't break as easily, but these ones, they break. Not so much on FGs, but B series, the whole door panel just comes off. They just fall apart with age. It's like that with most cars, you know, especially with Falcons, and that's why they end up at the wreckers. If you guys saw my previous video, you would have seen that we moved in to this warehouse. Now, currently I'm sitting in the office area. I was actually quite surprised with the comments because I didn't really have expectations about anything, but what I was really surprised about was the amount of hate comments that it had. And there were well over 120 comments on that video, over like 13,000 views, 12 or 13,000 views. A lot of boomers did not like what I was saying. We're gonna go through the comments from the last video because I think it's hilarious. And we're gonna pick out the funniest hate comments in no particular order. The first one, and it says, "This is literally like watching a person born yesterday." What do you mean by that, mate? Is it because I was born yesterday? I didn't think I was. I was born almost 25 years ago. Moving on. All right, we got another one. This one's a little bit more elaborate. So this is by ZTK, and he says, "Mate, this is such a cute video." Thank you, it's very flattering. Hilarious even. It's standard to have to do light upgrades, etc. The landlords don't need to cover that. You learn things like this in the real world where you have real jobs. Real jobs. Pretty hilarious to see baby-faced bloggers whining about a 15K bond for a 3-year lease. Welcome to the real world, buddy. And that has 10 upvotes. So the first thing I want to say is thank you for stating the obvious. I'm very well aware that the landlords don't need to cover that. Pretty hilarious to see baby-faced vloggers whining about a 15K bond. Now, I don't know, like, my eyesight's pretty bad, right? But do I look baby-faced to you? I've got a beard, bro. It's actually, like, hilarious how riled up people get about such trivial things. I try not to take myself too seriously, and then he's saying stuff about not having a real job. But anyway, thank you for your comment. Now we have another comment, and it's from Kevin Spinner 542A, and it says, "Welcome to the real world, full stop." Thank you for your invitation to the real world. We have another comment from Glenn's Graphics, and it says, "This is the most whiniest videos I have ever watched. Did you not look at other warehouses?" If you're gonna write hate comments, you should probably get your grammar right. Yeah, I did look at other warehouses. Like I said in the video, Rex, Lachlan and I were applying for probably 6 to 8 months before we actually got this place. And it's very hard to get a place when you have limited to no rental history. None of us have rental history, but Glenn's Graphics, thank you for your comment. Then we have this funny comment underneath. "A few grow tents should reduce the bill," and it has 78 upvotes. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. For all of you guys that have been showing support in the comments in the last video, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support, and I'm very, very keen to see what the future holds. Thank you again for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.